1:49 a.m., Lake Wren, Horseshoe Bend Camp. Fog slips over the dock like breath. The lake listened hard. My chest GoPro blinks Rec 00:07:12. The little brass bell on my shoreline rod rings once, though the air is still. I came to fish alone, sleep in the truck bed, and be back by sunrise. Simple. I parked at Site 15, set the bell, clicked on the bait light, and cast toward the cove. That's when the water made a circle. One ring, then another, like something was counting around my bobber. I said, 1, 2, 3, and the bell gave a tiny answer, like a cat collar tucked in reeds. At 1:57, I checked the GoPro clip. There's a second voice under mine. It's not clear, more like a humming mouth against wood, but it repeats my count and then skips. 1, 2, 3, nothing on 4, and then the bell. Proof at 1:57. From across the cove, a lantern glowed. No boat motor, no paddle ripples, just a cold coin of light that refused to reflect. My handheld radio, only meant for weather, caught some stray chatter. 15's taken, copy, he didn't come alone. I told myself it was bleed from the marina. I reeled in to move spots. The line tugged back, not from the lake, but from behind me, dragging across gravel toward the trees. I hadn't set a second rod. When I turned, wet footprints led from the water straight past my cooler and stopped at the truck tailgate. Every right print was crisp. Every left was smeared like it dragged. The bell rang again, longer, from inside the tent I hadn't pitched yet. The brass mouth flickered under the cab light, swinging by itself, shadow of a string I could not find. I hit record on the radio and said my name, the site number, the time. Somewhere below the dock planks, something clicked back 3 times. Metal on wood. Measured. Patient. I set the paddle into the canoe and pushed off. Because I came to fish, and because part of me wanted to see what counted me. I paddled along the edge where the willow roots made little caves. The sonar pinged, one bright return under the dock, moving against the current. Length read 1.8 meters, then glitched to dashes. The lantern across the cove tracked me like an eye. I tried not to notice. At 2:11, I tied off to the old swim float and killed the headlamp. The night sound fell flat. No frogs, no wind, just the dry tick of my bell. It felt rehearsed. I took out my phone to mark a waypoint, and the fish finder renamed it for me. Waypoint 015, Visitor. I didn't type that. The GoPro time counted up. The radio hissed and then used my name. Site 15, Muhammad. Copy. He didn't come alone. Something tapped the hull. Tap, tap, tap. Metal like a hook, measured with mine. Circles spread from the bow as if someone underwater walked around me, towing rings into silt. I set the paddle across my lap and reached down. My fingers closed on a lure I didn't own. Red bead, tarnished spoon, a tag gone soft with water. In marker it said, "Give it back." The lantern went out, slowly. The night gained weight. When I looked up, 2 of my trucks sat at Site 15, one real under the cab light, one a slick black version reflecting no stars. The bell rang from both. My chest cam shows the frame split for 2 seconds. I keep replaying it. Both doors open together and only one set of feet hits gravel. I cut the line, shoved off, and paddled for shore. The radio coughed, "Emergency traffic only." Then, in my voice, beat late, "Emergency traffic only." At 2:19, I beached the canoe, sprinted to the truck, and slammed the cab. A handprint slid up the outside window from waterside to roof. webbed like lakeweed. The GoPro recorded the bell until rain started. I still hear it when I back the truck to the ramp. If you fish Lake Wren after midnight, leave the bell in your tackle box, and whatever you borrow, give it back. 1:38 a.m. Black Otter Lake, Spillway Access, Site B7. A light mist drifts across the riprap like breath on glass. My chest cam blinks Rec 00:04:29. The bell I clip to my rod is still, but the line hums as if something is breathing through it. I came for quiet hours and a dawn limit. Truck bed, thermos, 2 rods, done. The park map shows B7 beside a memorial cross hammered into driftwood. Someone left lures there, tangled into a wreath. I took one, an orange spinner stamped with a crooked 4, planning to put it back at sunrise. First cast, the spinner sings down the current. Circles widen under the yellow spillway light, each ring stepping around the bobber like toes counting in the dark. I click my thumb counter. 1, 2, 3. The bridge echo repeats me, late and hollow. It skips 4 and my bell taps once without wind. On playback, the GoPro hears a second mouth near mine, a wet whisper that follows everything but 4. Proof spike at 1:41. My weather radio, dead all night, wakes to a same chirp and says flat as paper, B7 is taken, bring it back. Across the spillway, a shape glows the way the moon does behind cloud, square, not round, a screen with nothing on it. It throws no light, only holds it, like an eye that refuses to blink. I tell myself it's a cabin TV or a ranger's tablet. The line tugs, not from the lake, from the gravel behind me. Wet footprints lead from the water to the memorial cross, right prints crisp, left prints wiped as if heel bones were missing. My bell rings inside the cooler. The lid is shut. Ice fog rolls when I open it. Nothing in there should ring. I record a marker. Black Otter B7, 1:49 a.m. Something under the planks clicks back 3 times, measured, patient. I unclip the orange spinner, pocket it, and step into the John boat. I shouldn't, but I want proof. The glow across the spillway grows smaller, like it's backing into the trees. I rode along the riprap, keeping the spillway light out of my eyes. Across the drop, the square glow looked like an old CRT on a blank channel, humming without sound. It lit nothing but itself. Waves that touched it didn't reflect. They vanished. At 2:02, I tied to a cleat and killed the headlamp. Night went flat, no frogs, no wind, yet the dry tick of my bell came from the closed cooler. I opened it. Ice fog lifted. The bell swung from no string, small as a pulse. The finder pinged and drew a single bar under the hull. Length flashed 1.8 meters, then all dashes. The GoPro buffer spiked. On playback, there's breath by the mic, and one word made of water and concrete. Back. Proof at 2:05. The weather radio glowed, battery full, alerts empty. In my voice it said, a beat late, B7 is taken. The second rod drew tight, not from the lake, but from the gravel by the memorial cross, line sawing furrows as if a hand wound me in. I pulled the orange spinner from my pocket. The crooked 4 looked new. On the back, where weights are stamped, another word had risen, home. Metal doesn't raise itself. Something under the planks ticked 3 times. Home-me now. I let the boat drift, stepped onto the rocks and walked to the cross. I'm sorry, I said to wood and water. I hung the spinner by its split ring among the others rusted into the wreath. For a breath, the square glow thinned, as if stepping backward into the trees. The cooler went silent. Footprints by the cross softened, edges drinking down. A soft exhale rolled from the gate, and the finder cleared to bottom. I checked the audio. The breath near the mic still spoke, but the word had changed. Not back. Thank you. Small as a minnow bell. I left before dawn. If you fish black otter after midnight and pick up a name or a number that isn't yours, return it the way you found it. The lake counts fair when you do.